Hey YouTube, today is Friday, June 26, 2020, and today we're going to review the Factorio Friday Facts number 353. If you like this sort of thing, make sure you hit that like, subscribe. If you have a question or a comment, leave it in the comment section below. Everything that you need to learn about me is in the description below. In fact, if you want to come by and watch this recording live, you can go to twitch.tv/clowntown, and we do this recording live every Friday night as well as new player night. So if you have a question about anything, man, come catch us live. We have a great time. So without further ado, let's get to the FFF. And here we are, Factorio Friday Facts number 353, and new website. Look at that. It's a new format. The background looks like a giant mega base. It's a single sign-on, merch, game. Got their blog, got their support. Neato. Go download some stuff. The artwork is there. We have to check that out here in just a second. That was announced last time about how they're gonna do the website. Well, there it is. New format, looks very different. All right, today's Friday Facts comes from Clonan and V45. All right, here we go. Locale plan updates. This must have to do with language. Earlier this week, I received the English proofreadings from Altagram. And overall, I integrated over 500 suggestions into the game. Most were small, such as replacing can't with cannot, things like that. It was the exact sort of scrutiny we really needed, as it showed in some areas where we were quite inconsistent. It feels like things are in a better place now, even if the majority of changes are relatively unnoticeable. However, it was very noticeable to our great community translators on CrowdIn. When we update the English strings, the translations have to be updated on CrowdIn. For the last few days, I've been working through the issues raised on CrowdIn, and there was a lot of good input on the last 1% of those changes. Cool. So that concludes the English proofreading phase. Yeah, it's a thing. You write down a bunch of instructions, etc., and it just kind of grows and grows and grows over time. And then as you can go back over it to make sure it's one consistent thing. If it took place over even a couple weeks, it will likely be different language and different approach to the language. But I can't imagine doing this whole thing and taking the same approach over years, right? So very good. I guess it's been 6 years and change since they've started out. Maybe we'll look at that here in a second. But yeah, it's exactly what's needed and to make it a consistent, wrapped up, ready-to-go package. Starting on Monday, Altagram will start proofreading the target languages and filling in any missing strings where needed. This should take about 3 weeks. Since Altagram has their own translation system for their team, it really isn't feasible to include CrowdIn in this part of the work, since they will just take the content from CrowdIn and at the start of the process, and after 3 weeks, push what they have back to it. Okay. So any translation work by volunteers on CrowdIn for these 3 weeks will be wasted. So we ask that if you want to volunteer your time, save it for a little while. Makes sense. Any work done on CrowdIn this weekend will be included. We deliberately made this buffer between the English corrections and the target proofreading so that the players on CrowdIn will have an opportunity to contribute before Altagram starts. Right. After Altagram puts our corrections back to CrowdIn, we'll start the community review part of the process. When the work that Altagram's team has done is reviewed by players and feedback is given to Altagram via CrowdIn issues. This helps us make sure that the terms of translations are consistent with the established community usage, right? And there's no contextual issues or misunderstandings. Cool. Yeah, if you can do this professionally and then hone it in with the crowd and with the community to put a bunch of eyes on it and really scrutinize the product. That takes it from the 88% perfect to 99% perfect. And especially if you can get that work done for free on the community review part. All right, good. All right, so well done, Clonan. The plan for trailers, says V54. Rather recently, we've started working on trailers, and first of all, we needed to decide what exactly we wanted to do with them. The goal is that we will have the main trailer updated to the latest graphics, as all of it was rendered via Lua script. It, of course, won't be absolutely the same since many things have changed or added, but we are going to try and match as close as possible, as we are very happy with this iconic trailer. We are very happy with the other one as well, but we want to update the gameplay trailer, at least not for now. It has multiple reasons. Mainly, it's created entire manual screen recording, which is a lot more work to try and replicate the game and the gameplay message of it is still relevant today. It's not helping that if we were to revisit this trailer, that we'd like to make some changes to the voiceover, which would mean creating a completely new voiceover, as added parts would just not feel perfectly integrated. Correct. Long story short, we're aiming to prepare a new third trailer dedicated to releasing 1.0 instead. We believe a special 1.0 launch trailer will have more impact than just refurbishing the existing one. I agree. It is more interesting to provide something fresh, tailored specifically for its use case. Last but not least, the release of 1.0 is a big milestone. We find it appropriate to give it its own trailer. I agree. A lot has been done in the last 6 years, right? And I think that may be what we're about to look at. Of course, I'm not going to spoil the details of what is actually going to be in the new trailer, but there was one specific section I have so many feelings about, it's irresistible not to share them. Factorio is much more than just a result product. It's been a journey and a very unique one. I think the process of how Factorio has been created is so important to the result that it's worth giving a special place in the new trailer. More specifically, this will be done by a series of clips ranging from Factorio 0.1 all the way to 1.0, showing how Factorio evolved over the years. Neato. There isn't enough time to go through all the major versions, as the trailer is going to be rather short, so I'll reduce the selection to the versions. 0.1 has the original idea. 0.6 as the prototype. 0.7 was released with FFF 01. 0.12 is the early access game. Stable 12 was the first version of Steam Early Access. I think I was either at the end of 12 or early 13. I cannot remember. 18 as the version for launch. Let's look at these. It is technically possible to load a save game from 0.1 and 18. Wow, if you go through the necessary middle version steps. So I just started casually playing version 0.1, imagining to just continue it to 0.6, build there, and so on. None of the images shown below are final, being worked on. Oh my goodness. Random factory being built in 0.1. Okay, let's look. Oh wow, look here. All right. I guess those are drills. Oh my goodness. Yep. I don't even know what those are. Is that a boiler, I guess, right there? That's a steam engine with just water. Very strange. Smelters, I guess. Interesting. When I had a small factory built, I started to wonder, okay, as always, it's not that simple. While technically working, loading obviously does not handle all the changes to the game, like map generation, entity sizes, or recipes. Yeah. Let's look at this one. This is 0.6. This is new for me. Yeah, it looks like shapes.io. It does. You're right. So look, now we can see the smelters, and I guess these are the assembly machines. Stone furnaces, probably. There's the more modern mining drill. Belt starting to take shape. Iron plate is the same. Steam engine starting to take shape. The The stone furnaces are the same. Those are the same. The exact same. Red inserters and yellow inserters. Red belt. Neato. Wooden power poles versus medium power poles. Pipes. Yeah, they do. They kind of look like electric furnaces now. The assemblies here. Okay. I didn't even bother trying to migrate after realizing that this would mean I'd have to show .18 with 1.0 map, 0.1 map generation. I just tried to build a new factory in 0.6 and then again a new one in 12. It seemed like a reasonable approach as these versions were significantly different. I agree. I bet. Right. Are there... oh, yeah. The biter drop should be in here, too. So the resulting factory should be different, right? So let's look at this one. Yeah, the blue ones. Okay, this looks very familiar. This is... What version was this? This is version 12. Right. So this is when I joined. This is when I joined this crazy journey. All of this looks very familiar to me. I mean... Maybe 13. Maybe a little bit of graphics honing in, but this is... Yeah, look at there. Biter drops. Those are the artifact, ancient, alien artifacts, right? Kill a nest. A bunch of these drop. You had to walk over them and pick them up. Cool. All right. Not so much. Since the trailer is short and quick, it's absolutely critical to minimize the confusion as much as possible. This is why after a few days I restarted it all. And started by designing the final clip in 0.18, going backwards, right? With the aim that have the factories look very similar. Of course, the newer save games can't be loaded into older versions of the game, so I just had to take a screenshot of Factory of the Grid and try and replicate it in the older version by hand. Having played each of the versions earlier, at least gave me a good overview of differences between the versions and made it easier to realize what I should be highlighting in each. So this is 18 now. Let's look at this. Yeah, high-res everything. Look at the steam. It looks good. New beacons, right? High-res tanks. Rocket silo looks really good. Beacon touching it. I wonder if they purposely build a messy base like this. None of you in the audience right now would tolerate this. I tell you what, you would not have a train going right through your damn base. This is not tolerable. This has got to be a demo just to show as many entities on one screen as possible. And then when I create factories for screenshots like FFF, I almost use the editor as things to be done very quickly. That way it wasn't necessarily a surprise that version 12 did not have the same editor as version 18 does. Yeah, chat's kind of sounding off. What the hell, no. But I completely shocked actually experiencing the differences. Right, to go back and check it out. Oh, yeah. Look at those beacons. Look at those fat beacons. Yeah, and the fact that the track, the railroad track must go straight over the spawn point. so that as you spawn, you must run for your life. All right. For example, console commands could not be run in the map editor. Oh, entities would get removed by X instead of normal clicking. Those tracks, man. And look at those old locos. Yeah, we'll look at that in a second. Blueprints would not place real entities. The game could not be unpaused in map editor, making placing items on belts almost impossible and so on. And it wasn't just a map editor, having gotten used to cut, copy, paste. Yes! Yeah, go back to a version that doesn't have Control-C, Control-V, right? And Shift-R to rotate the opposite way, right? The game suddenly felt extremely clunky to use, and everything took much longer than it normally takes. Right. That Control-C, Control-V is a one-way door. You do not want to go back. Yeah, try that. Try doing a game now without the copy paste of blueprints now, or copy paste of entities. I placed a map editor what I could. After that, I put a lot of items in chests to build more. Spent some time playing with playing the factory, making science, and generally making the factory run in order to have things move in the final video. Concept of the factory for the trailer in 0.6. Let's look at this one in deep detail. I don't mind this style of locomotives. Those are nice. I don't, this one or the old one. Those are kind of neato. This reminds me of the trains I saw in Hungary when I was there. I mean, the guys are from the Czech Republic, right? So I mean, I'm sure they walk out their door and they see trains that look like this, right? I mean, not everybody gets to not everybody gets to walk out their door and see one of the Japanese super trains that go a kabillion miles an hour, and they show that deal where they balance a quarter like this, and they're so stable, and they're going at speed of sound or something. Wow, I don't even know what those are. That's an assembly machine. What is that? That's electric furnace. Are those beacons? Chemical plant, maybe? Are those the old beacons? That's before my time. This is 0.6. Wild. Alien artifacts. Right. Yeah. The process was getting progressively more difficult. Oh, maybe a RoboPort. Good call. Good call, chat. The process was getting progressively more difficult with 0.6 and 0.1. Some things made me actually laugh instead of cry, or both. I'm not going to paste our complete changelog from the last 8 years, but I'll just point out a few things that really stood out. The old quick bar was confusing. Quick bar makes a giant difference. And then finding things in my inventory because they were hiding in the quick bar. Yes. Remember, I mean, not too long ago, your inventory could be in your inventory or could be on the quick bar. Technologies did not guarantee that if you unlock something, you're able to craft it. No technology tree view without search function made this even harder to find something. No search view in the technology tree. Handcrafting did not automatically craft intermediates in 0.1. That is also a one-way door. That is also a one-way door. You do not go back from that. And once in 0.6, trains had to be connected to by the connect rolling stock hotkey after being built. I never knew this was the original purpose of that hotkey. Oh. Yeah, okay. When taking an entity in your cursor, it automatically rotated to be facing towards you, like in Minecraft 0.1. In a 2D game, that does not make nearly as much sense, though, and I was totally confused as to what was going on until Kovacs explained it to me. I definitely forgot to build a vertical train station longer because trains didn't stretch in 0.12 like they do. Oh, that's right. Okay. Building rail signals and train stations is a lot of pain without the visualization helpers we have now. Yes. G and V for connect and disconnect. That's right. Yeah, all of those visualization things like the white bracket or the arrows of hover over a signal and it shows an arrow going this way or that way. And shoot, I really didn't get train signals until I was able to hover over or hover with a train signal in my cursor and see the blocks. Once that was there, trains went click and I was able to do them. Yeah, wow. Oh, look at that, the website. All right, we'll do that in a second. A concept factory for the trailer in 0.1. Oh, neato. Let's look at that for now. You can see the last few screenshots share some features. This will be even better in the final version, making the final video flow much better between these clips. It felt quite interesting just to play the old versions after all this time. Anyway, it felt like playing different games or spin-off shapes. Apart from the immediately obvious differences in graphics, the core idea of mining, smelting, assembling was still there, but with so many differences, especially with the interaction. It's usually the small differences, but they really add up. That is correct. It's a very good insight. A lot of those things that we just looked at are very small, very tiny changes, but all of them put together, and it feels like a totally new game. This really made me appreciate what we have come to so much more, and in a way reminded me the details we spent time were really worth it. Eventually I got through it all. Now I can record clips for the trailer. We'll be able to see them on August 14th, release day. I'm stoked. It's going to be cool. Actually, in live, let's look at some trailers here live if we're now that we're here, and we'll check those out here in just a second live if you're in the live audience. If not, maybe we'll link to them in the description below. New website. Look at all that stuff on the ground, all of those sorts of things. And let's do this. You hover over that dynamically, and here we go. Oh, look at there. Oh, and it scrolls up for you. It goes, oh, it's back to the top. That's your top. That's great, man. That's your back to the top. That's fun. Okay. Well done. Like that. Yeah, well done. I like it. That is cool. All right, so that was Factorio Friday Facts 353. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hit that like, subscribe. If you have a question, leave it in the comments section below. We're so looking forward to Factorio 1.0, and we'll be here to cover all of that. Also, we'll be live almost all of that week, starting on August 14th, maybe the day before, and we'll do a big thing for that release week. It's going to be a great one. So thanks very much for your support. We'll see you next time.